Hi, how's everyone? Thanks for coming back. Hello and welcome if you are new. I'm glad you found me. Let's get to this Mercury retrograde reading. Um, I had been stressed over it because I'm behind a little bit. But then I thought to myself, that's typical Mercury retrograde energy, putting you behind, delays, crossed information, lost emails, dropped communication, misunderstandings. That's all Mercury retrograde energy. So I am just as much a victim of it as you guys are. Let's see. When does it end? I think it ends like the end of November, no, December, something like that. This is the last retrograde of 2025, and Mercury going retrograde is usually where we can review old information, right? Old things come up, get dug up from the past, old things come back to be reviewed again. Maybe there's adjustments to the information coming out that wasn't there before. We get a chance to review our information, okay? And not only that, but review where it's placed in our um, identity. How do they want me to explain this? It's like you were functioning in a certain way because of the information, right? And the Mercury retrograde, it's like not so fast, and it brings up this old shit, right? That's the old shit coming back, old shit to be reviewed. And then you look at the old information and you're like, oh, well, fuck that, or oh, I didn't know that, or oh, I feel differently about it now. So that's Mercury retrograde. But because of the pullback of the energy, there of course are delays. There's glitches, lost. Like I said, lost emails before email was around. It was like misdirected mail, you know, dropped phone calls, and it's interesting with the increased solar flares with the northern lights being more active. That's all electromagnetic energy. So that can also affect electronics and things like that. Mercury rules the free flow of information, but it doesn't rule whether it's true or not. It basically just says, I don't know, open the window and throw it out the window and see where it lands. It's just like just give it to them and they can process it the way they need to. That's Mercury energy. Um, it also it also rules the free flowing of money. Okay, because again, Mercury is a neutral energy. It is unbiased. Okay, so it doesn't feel either way about anything. It just makes sure that the way is clear. So money could be back and forth. Um, Maybe something coming around from the past, bringing in a little bit of money. Maybe you lost a lottery ticket in a coat last year. You know what I mean? So yeah, that's Mercury retrograde energy. That's happening in tropical it's in Sagittarius, and in sidereal it is in Scorpio still. Scorpio is pretty volatile. It's a water sign, and the water signs are involved in a grand trine right now, along with Jupiter, which is also retrograde. Um, so yeah. Now Jupiter retrograde, it's not as dramatic as Mercury retrograde or Pluto retrograde. It's Jupiter is a pretty large, jovial, generous, warm, positive, beneficial, benevolent. That's the word I'm looking for. Benevolent energy. So even in retrograde, it's still very good energy. Okay, there may be a little bit more uh, there may be a little wandering of the things, wanderings of the things, especially in water energy, it being very emotional, and with a grand trine, it's like the free flow again of that unencumbered cycle of energy through the emotional spheres. Okay, and now we have the horny fuckboy Jupiter involved in that grand trine. So there could be some um, if we're talking about, oh my goodness, if we're I shudder to say it, but free flow of information, this could be something coming out about a horny fuck boy, right? Let's just put it that way. From the past, maybe because Mercury's retrograde, we get to review information. Jupiter is the wanderer, wandering hands, wandering feet, wandering minds, wandering tongues, wandering eyes, everything. So, yeah, that's what's coming to me right now. I certainly did not write that down for yesterday when I was meditating on this. So, we're going to go ahead and start the reading. We've got a card for the current energies, 3 clarifiers, and 3 influences that we may not see. And then we'll get an oracle message and final advice. So the main concern here in the current energies, we've got a 5 of Swords in the reverse and a Wheel of Fortune in the reverse. Okay, there's that backwards energy. But okay, so the 5 of Swords is good in the reverse. This is an actual ending to the conflict. Whereas the 5 of Swords in the upright is an ending to a conflict, but it's brutal. There's no winners, there's no losers. It just stops, right? And it's still bitter feelings, bitter words, things you can't take back. That's in the upright. But in the reverse, this is actually coming to a compromise. There are still there's no losers, no winners, but there's a cycle ending, right? But it's peaceful at least, and there is compromise here. Okay, but on top of that, we've got the Wheel of Fortune in the reverse, which means there's not the ending to the cycle here, or an avoidance of an ending. Okay, maybe due to this compromise, like there's no winner, there's no loser. We're just gonna pause it for now. We're gonna stop it for now. Let's do this peacefully. Go to your corners, but this isn't over, right? Otherwise, this could suggest the cycle stalled for while conflict is resolved. Yeah, so basically that, yeah. There is the energy here of like reconsidering or reevaluating what is compromised, what is forgiven, what is accepted and reconciled, but moving on is delayed. So peace and understanding will be reached once both sides are honest and forthcoming. But if both sides can't agree in a loving, empathetic way, then their way forward must be reached through logic, introspection, and acceptance. Okay, so that's what we've got. That's what's on the current energies right now. What's going on with my brightness here? I turn up the brightness just a little. There we go. Okay, so we've got the clarifiers here. Yeah, I heard like time out, reassess. This isn't over. But I'm gonna pause peacefully for a sec. You know what I mean? While information comes in with that Mercury retrograde, while we reevaluate things. So yeah, that's what I would summarize that it as timeout while we reevaluate, the information. So the clarifiers, we have a 10 of coins and the Knight of Swords in reverse. Now we have been dealing with this Knight of Swords in reverse and upright, backwards and forwards for a couple weeks now. And this is somebody who just wants to come in to fight. They're coming in hot, they're coming in passionate, they're coming in blustery and maybe aggressive, a little bit reckless. This, now take it down a couple notches. I'm sure this can be just a tiff in the kitchen for some of us, okay? But for others, in the collective, the energy expresses in each of you all in different ways. So put yourself where you resonate. But yeah, it's like a hot-tempered disruption in a beautiful 10 of cups. Okay, this is that emotional fulfillment that you work so hard to get. This is loyalty and abundance in due time and your reward. And, you worked hard to get there. And there's that reckless ass Knight of Swords energy. It could be a person, it could just be passing energy. Like I said, the Knight of Swords for me represents Libra. We're pretty argumentative. We can get pretty hot tempered. Um, but it can be any of the air signs, Gemini, Libra, or Aquarius. It just depends where they are in their energy, Like if you're dealing with a hot-headed Aquarius, even though it's a knight, because usually Aquarius for me is the king and the queen. Or it could be a page-ass Gemini coming in, swinging his information around, just wanting to fight. Yeah, that's what it feels like. It's like this person wants to just say whatever the fuck they want to say, you know? Oh, well, if it picks a fight with you, fuck you, But it's all coming in on this 10 of Cups. So let's see what else it says for this for other people in the collective. So this is suggesting the pursuit of household security, prosperity, and comfort is driving someone crazy. Okay, tempers are volatile, communication is difficult, goals have been struggling. There are conflicting strategies. Can you see that? There's conflicting strategies here and changing facts, and it just might be bringing strife into the collective's money. Oh, I mean the love life, the home family emotional state. No, this is coins. Yeah, your money. I thought that was cups for a second. Um, people are stressed. People are arguing and agitated. The 10 of coins is upright, so the home may be secure and provided for now. But nerves are being stretched here, and arguments and careless words could happen. Yeah, Knight of Swords is you would think the Knight of Wands could come through and do the most damage, right? Because it's fire energy. But that Knight of Swords, man, when he's in his detriment, when he's in that reverse energy, this is Mercury energy. Because the swords is the Knight of Swords. Oh no, Knight of Swords is Libra, but Gemini is ruled by Mercury. So yeah, this is just strife, in the home. Like I said, it just could be bickering. It's not like divorce worthy, upending, burn the house down, arguments for some people. For most, in fact, I mean for most. This is going to be very, very, not quiet, but eh, for some. But it's like, I feel, so they're showing me a bed bug, right? They're showing me like, this is like, oh no, that's a bad example though. That's a bad example because they were going to say, there's one bed bug that doesn't mean the whole house has to burn. And I'm like, no, yes, it does. And they're like, yeah, shit, that was a bad example. But they're showing me something small in the home that, like an argument or something, that doesn't mean the whole family is, a disaster. It's just a small argument. But yeah, that Knight of Swords reversed. Reckless, I always hear. And yeah, and you think about it, even the Knight of Wands could be reckless, but this is destructive. This is like tornado energy, Like an outburst that's uncontrollable that might do some damage. So that's one of the clarifiers here. And that is clarifying that Five of Swords in the reverse, like coming to a compromise, and the Wheel of Fortune in the reverse, saying this isn't over. So there's that disgruntlement in what is it? Disgruntlement in the home, right? So we also have, for clarifier, an Eight of Swords and an Ace of Wands. Okay, that Eight of Swords, yeah, that mental imprisonment, that getting lost, a lot of sword energy here. We even have the Queen of Swords here. So that's that air energy, that free flow of information, intellect, thinking, data, processing, things like that. So that Eight of Swords is like overstimulated mental processing, you know? It's it's like you're surrounded, you kind of that paralysis feeling like you don't know how to move, right? But you've got an Ace of Wands here. And when I was meditating on this earlier, this Ace of Wands feels like a beacon, okay? It feels like something that you can focus on. It feels like a light in the darkness here, okay? So if you feel that you are surrounded by these Eight of Swords, where there's no good options, there's just analysis paralysis and an eternal conflict, there is a light here, okay? And it's a big flaming wand, but you got to look up. You've got to see it. It's not only going to be a good distraction while the wheel turns, but it's going to guide you in a better direction, okay? So here this Eight of Swords with an Ace of Wands suggests a new way forward from a situation that had no good options, okay? I literally see someone lighting a match. Time to put down all the things that the mind clings to, trying to reconcile or understand or sort out from or choose from, okay? That's not failure or ruin. No, wait, there, choose from. There's an energy here of letting it all go, not out of defeat, because remember we had that Five of Swords in the reverse. So there is compromise. It's not quite a win, but it's not a loss. It's just, a leveling out. Okay, so this is not out of defeat. It's not failure or ruin, but it's out of dignity and strength and bringing self-respect. Okay, the Ace of Wands is an opportunity for a new goal, follow a new spark, leave mental conflict and paralysis, and grab the bright new inspiration here. Okay, there is a light breaks through the internal conflict to lead someone out of the dark. So that's clarifying also the Five of Swords in the reverse and the Wheel of Fortune. There's a way forward here, okay? And it's going to release you from that mental prison. Okay. Another set of clarifiers here. We have, the Four of Wands and the Queen of Swords. Okay. I literally feel like this Queen of Swords, this could be Aquarius energy, but it's also any of the other air signs. She's got her sword up and she's standing in front of this Four of Wands, this established familial bonds here. This reminds me of the Ten of Cups in the beginning, right? She's standing sentry. This is somebody who is here protecting. And the Queen of Wands with that Gemini and Libra, the intellect and the justice, the fairness. This is somebody who is stepping forward as a protector of that, with this information. She's standing in front of this beautiful Four of Wands, and she's protecting it with this information, with her. It's like she's the one standing in front going, I see this bullshit coming. I see your lies coming. It's written all over your face. You're not getting anywhere near us. You're not getting anywhere near me. Take your bullshit and go. I've got the real information. I'm reviewing it right now. That Queen of Swords is like a little cousin energy to justice, right? And this queen, the queen is the one that swings the sword. The king doesn't execute. He gives the verdict, but the queen is the one that swings it. Okay? So this is somebody really protecting that. For others in the collective, this suggests this suggests someone using intelligence, integrity, fairness, and logic to not only maintain, but to completely or competently protect the roots and foundation they are building. Someone is being honest about what they want and resourceful creating it. This may be someone you can work with or benefit from their wisdom. Someone knows what future they want, and they're standing on business. Okay? It's like, I know what I built. I know what this is. I know what I want this to be. I know where this is going. And this may have to do with romance, because we do have that 10 of cups. It's something that's very emotionally important to us, right? And we're building it here, this clarifying here. Yeah, just a pause. And if this is a relationship, this may be a pause, because not, well, don't, let me see here. Okay, not a pause, but just a moment where, get that shit out of my face, she said. I got the receipts. You know, I know what you said. I know when you said it. I know what I was wearing. I know what you were wearing. I know what the dog was wearing. I know what the neighbors were doing. Why are you playing in my whole face like this? Right? And it's to protect that. See, now this is why I think it could be about love, because it's that Four of Wands. This is a building of a foundation, forming bonds and establishing roots and enjoying that achievement. And this person's like, you're not getting anywhere near it with that bullshit. Right? Okay, so that's the clarifiers. Now let's look at the influences that we might not see. Okay? And the first one we have here is a Page of Swords with Temperance in the reverse. So this is the energy of trying to find a new solution to something, because Temperance energy, this is Sagittarius. Sagittarius energy? I always want to give it to Aquarius, because it looks just like them, right? But I believe this is Sagittarius energy because it's the alchemist. Alchemizing new things. This could be on that Page of Swords. That Page of Swords is a researcher, a finder outer, you know. I always want to give that honorary Scorpio energy too, because Scorpio, they're able to dismantle things, right? And pull it apart and look deep inside it, almost like an instinct. So I feel like, but this is more logical and, with research and stuff like that. And this Temperance in the reverse is that alchemizing a new solution, but it's in reverse, so it's not working. It's like poisoning things. Instead of being a clear, wonderful elixir, in the reverse, it's turned to poison. So this person is trying to find out how to fix this. What needs to be added to the mix, or taken out of the mix, or remixed. Do I need to dump it and start over? Things like that. So these influences you might not see yet. We have a Page of Swords and the Temperance in the reverse. So this is someone on a fact-finding mission. Like the Page of Swords is determined. This is it's youthful intelligence, it's lucidity, it's observation, it's analysis. Something's being pulled apart. So someone is on a fact-finding mission here. They're being lucid, analytical, and observant. They're listening to advice. They're actively pursuing answers, looking for new or better solutions. Someone's concentrating. They're determined to find answers, to rebalance, trying to bring some logic into chaos. Okay? And looking to rebalance an anxious mind that is usually reliable. So that's something in the influences we might not see. Also, here we have the Seven of Swords in the reverse. What I say, a lot of sword energy, a lot of mental stress, a lot of information, a lot of data, a lot of things to process, but it's all wonky because the Mercury's retrograde. We had a Seven of Swords in the reverse and a King of Cups in the reverse. Okay, now this one kind of threw me a little bit. This was a deeper meditation on this one. This suggests someone possibly a water sign, Pisces, Cancer, or Scorpio, except King of Cups. Feeling exposed. Okay, that Seven of Swords is somebody making a break for it. But in the reverse, it's they're caught up in their consequences. Okay? So it's like the spotlight is on them and the clothes have fallen away. Like what is that story? The Emperor's New Clothes? Where he ended up being naked and he didn't know it? That's this Seven of Swords and King of Cups in the reverse. Um, they may be facing consequences for past actions which, they weren't noble, they weren't honest. That's that king energy, but it upside down, wasn't noble, wasn't honest, wasn't kingly. This has to do with emotions. So they could have been, careless with someone's emotions. They could have been careless with their own emotions. They could have been careless with their heart. They could have been scheming or something like that. Yeah, they could have been cheating. This is somebody who was not noble with their hearts or others. Um, yeah, they're looking to rebalance. No, where am I? Yes, someone realizing that they need to apologize for deceit or emotional fraud, poor decisions. Perhaps they denied or betrayed their own heart and not only hurt themselves but others as well. That's in the influences we don't see yet. So, um, this information fight up here. No, we need to look at something else. And she's like, why are you playing in my whole face right now? Because I know exactly what the fuck shit you've been up to. This King of Cups in the reverse is now paying for those consequences, right? I also felt that cheater energy, like I didn't know what I had until I fucked it up, something like that. Because the King of Cups in the upright is somebody who acknowledges and respects their emotions. This is someone with emotional maturity. Like he absolutely feels deeply, but they're not. It's like they're not the boss of him. He's, you know what I mean? He masters his emotions. He's not their servant. But in the reverse, all that is out the window. It's all very over emotional, maybe deceitful, even to themselves. And then that Seven of Swords in the reverse, yeah, it's somebody who needs to make amends because of their conduct. But they realize it. That's the thing. Even though the King of Cups is in the reverse here, with the Seven of Swords in the reverse, this is remorseful. They know they did wrong. They know they have to confess and they are really sorry. It's like, this is genuine. Okay? The Seven of Swords in the reverse is genuine remorse, not fake remorse. It's like, it almost feels like, I don't know. It almost feels like for some in the collective, they didn't realize there was going to be shrapnel. They didn't realize there was going to be collateral damage here. And I know that doesn't sound like that doesn't sound encouraging, but truly the person here is remorseful because the consequences of what they've done hurt somebody they had no intention. They did not know they would even be in the crosshairs there. There was no malice there. There wasn't, accidental. And that's why they're in this very remorseful, you know, state. They know they have to come and apologize. The next one we have here, but look, this is so good because here's the Four of Wands again, and they're both in the upright. They're both in the upright, and this one here in the influences we don't see that are hidden, we've got the sun with it. So this Four of Wands, there's the sun, the illumination, everything is fine. Like I said with the Mercury retrograde, this could have just been a misunderstanding. Not even anything, like I said, there's no tower here. There's no death here. There's no devil here. Okay? This all has to do with misunderstanding, miscommunication. Yes, on the more negative side, because this will express positively and negatively depending on who you are. Um, yeah, there could be some devastating like news coming out, but it was unintentional. Okay, it was reckless but unintentional. Like, because we have that Knight of Swords in the reverse. That's the reckless, you know, um, quick mouth energy, and then with this King of Wands in the reverse, it was unintentional. Okay, but yeah. So I'm going to stick with that. But after that, look at this. This is, you don't even see this. It's the Sun and the Four of Wands. It's going to be fine. It's going to be better than fine. Okay? It's going to be just as happy as it is. Because, that Queen of Wands protected it. Good decisions, better decisions than what that King had. But it is going to ultimately be okay. We've got the Sun and the Four of Wands here. The foundation is safe, you know. Is this suggesting everything is harmonious? Yeah. Foundations are protected and secure. Um, someone is enthusiastic about the future, family and home. They provide joy and acceptance. There's hard work. Hard work has paid off and enjoys growth. Loved ones are healthy and thriving, and love is warm and joyful and growing. There's support, care, and appreciation here. Okay. So, yeah, I feel like once this information dump blows over, everything's going to be copacetic, you know? Because the Queen of Swords is in her upright energy. If she were in the reverse, I would say she was going to fight this tooth and nail, right? And have harsh judgment, not wanting to hear anything. But she's in her upright energy, so I feel like she's able to understand where this person was coming from, where it went, where it got out of hand, where they got overwhelmed, and she's going to be able to make a compassionate verdict because it's fine, you know. So in the collective, yeah, like I said, somebody's going to feel like they really stepped in it. But ultimately, it's fine. The Four of Wands both came out twice, both in the upright. They are not threatened. The stability of the family is not threatened. Okay, we've got the Ten of Cups in the upright. We got an Ace of Wands, inspiration and vitality. Yeah. Temperance in the reverse is just that things need to be looked at a little, chucked out and looked at fresh. Okay, no redactions, I heard. Oh shit. I try not to I try not to go there in these readings, but of course, you know, greater energy with the you know, global stuff and national stuff, things out of our control that still affects us. It's still gonna pop up in the readings because it's the undercurrent of the energy. So I'm still gonna see it, you know? But there's still that energy here right at the top. The you know, it's that this isn't over. Or it's like, why isn't this over? It's like, here the fuck we go again. The wheel came back around. We're at the bottom of the wheel. Now shit's all falling out. Why do we always have to come back here? Well, because we have free will and we choose to, you know, by our decisions and actions and stuff. So yeah, with that Five of Swords in the reverse, this is considering a peaceful compromise to something, but knowing this ain't over. All right. So that's what I have. Let's do an ancestor oracle message. I hope that resonated, you guys. I hope the messages found you for your highest good. What am I doing? Oh, if you did vibe with my content, that's great. if you could take a moment to leave a thumbs up, like, share, subscribe, do all those things. I've even heard from other readers that there's a hype option where when you like it, you can swipe it and hype it. So if you like my video, if you have that feature on your phone, swipe and hype. That helps the algorithm get my content seen. I am available for personal readings and birth chart inquiries, and you'll find my information in the description. You'll find my email, my Venmo, and my Cash App. Even if you don't want to schedule anything personal, if you found a message that really helped you, resonated with you, or gave you some insight, and you just like to leave a tip, beautiful. The links are in the description. So let's get an ancestor oracle message for the collective for this Mercury retrograde, please. I'll take it. Came out with the trader, but the merchant, but I'm gonna take the sun. Enjoy success and happiness. Yeah, it's all gonna be okay. I know it doesn't feel like it. Um, yeah, enjoy success and happiness. Know that doors are opening for you. Follow up new projects. That's that Ace of Wands here. Follow up on new projects. Okay, new ventures and ideas. Connect with the inner fire that is driving you forward. Okay. So you're being surrounded by the brightness of the sun at this time. Opportunities to feel and be successful um, are swirling and dancing around you. Yeah, relationships and friendship progress with joy, and you feel happy and spirited, uplifted. I mean, there's Four of Wands here twice, both in the upright, you know? There's joy to be had here. It really is beautiful. If you're not somewhere bright and sunny right now, there will be other ways in which you can enjoy warmth and joy. Solar energy brings health and vitality and can energize and warm. And it also encourages everything to grow. The energy of expansion is with you at this time, and you're being offered the perfect opportunity to move forward. If you want to bring something to life, if you're ready to take a new step in a relationship, the sun will bring the right energy to you. If you're asking a question, the answer is most definitely yes. So now we'll get the final little insights and advice for the collective, please. For this Mercury retrograde, Jupiter retrograde season, but beyond and timeless. Oh, what's this first one? My goodness. To be shiny. Yeah, that's the sun energy. Oh. Maybe shiny things are coming to you. 777, the divine path. You are right where you should be and are serving your divine purpose. Ooh. Yeah, like I said, you guys, this isn't going to be earth shaken. Okay, there's no Tower here. There's no Eight of Cups here. There's no Five of Cups here. There's no, nothing like that. See, what did I say with the Temperance reverse? There's that poison there. Poison in the information. The situation or something in it is toxic. Okay, there's negative whisperings and heavy energy around y'all. The poison card hasn't dropped in a year. Okay, I haven't had this card come out in recent memory. But here it is right after I was talking about Temperance reversed. Yeah, something in the information is rotten. That's it. Okay? Something's toxic. Yeah. Somebody's poisoned the water hole. That's what I heard. Oops, 666. Fear is an illusion. Remove fear, doubt, and negativity. Those are the true demons. Because what keeps you off of your divine path more than fear, doubts, and negativity, right? Fear is an illusion. Oh, that's too many. We got the Hermit. That's Virgo energy. Is Virgo involved in anything? Um, Kind of off to the side because Virgo's co-ruler is Mercury, which is retrograde right now. So yeah, introspection, definitely Hermit energy with Mercury retrograde. You somebody really needs to or is trusting their gut a little more, looking for that inner guidance. Like, I know this ain't. What do I think about this? What is it that I know? That I know. What you know what I mean? It's somebody really trying to go inward and trust their own inner guidance here. And we've got fruition. This is the Seven of Pentacles. That which you planted and intended is ready to harvest or close to it. That's very good. Very, very good. Let's see what else we got for the collective for this Mercury retrograde cycle. Thank you. Please and thanks. Save point. Okay. Oh, okay. Yeah, we're right in between two portals. The 11:11 and the 12:12 portal. 12:12 portal is when things get transformed. So right now at this save point, you're being advised to restore yourself. It's like come back from whatever the chaos was. Gather your resources, preserve what is good, purge what is dead, take inventory of the information, take inventory of what you have, and make a good plan. Okay, that's the save point. Think of like in a video game. Before you go to a new level and you get a save point and you get to drop loot and find loot and buy things and, beef up the armor or the weapons or the intellect, beef up all the stats, right? That's the save point energy right here. But be be what's the word, adaptive, because there might be a plot twist coming. Oh snap, you did not see this coming. Plot twist hasn't dropped in a long time too. See what that Mercury retrograde energy does, bringing shit back from the past. The poison card and the plot twist card have not dropped in months and months and months, and here they are. Now we also have the fortune cookie. This is useful advice, encouragement, and small luck. This is like somebody slipping you a note, or the divine slipping you a note, opening something up and there's a message there. That sounds like an email, doesn't it? Opening something up and there's a message there. It comes with useful advice, encouragement, and a little bit of luck. Can we get anything else? And we do have that Ace of Wands there, which is like that unpredictable Jupiter energy. That lucky, because Jupiter rules being benevolent, so little bits of luck here and there. That's too many. Excuse me. With that candle burning, it dries out my throat. Any more for the collective, please? That's too many. Well, we've got dagger here. That's fear, worry, and a tense situation. Oh, do not pull knives on each other when you're arguing about this, okay? Please. It's not worth it. It's not worth it. Okay? It's not worth the 10 to 20. Just don't stab anybody. But we also have the rose here. Romance is in the air. Yeah, we've got 4 of Wands twice. It almost feels like makeup sex. It's like everything's fine. You were an idiot. They read they read the information wrong, but like I said, it could be anything else for everybody. Sorry, I'm stuttering. It's going to be fine. The person is going to own up because they're going to get, well, somebody might get, oh, jeez, man, we've got gossip. Oh, we've got news coming in, spilling the tea. This is visitors catching up, information, conversation. This is the grapevine coming in, okay? But we also have clouds here. That confusion and this, hidden secrets, doubts, misunderstandings, insecurity, but knowing there's still not enough information. We don't have the High Priestess. The high priestess isn't here. This is like knowing without knowing why you know. You just know you know. That's not here. We do have some clouds here. That page of swords, the knight of swords in the reverse. So there's a little bit of confusion here, but we do have the queen of swords, which should cut through that pretty quickly. But yeah, if it's not anything earth shaking. It's a misunderstanding. That's for some. But like I said, it could come in any form and through the collective. So that's what I have. What is coming up? We're gonna do a What the Friday. That might. So, and if you stuck with me this far, thank you so much. I'm sorry about the stuttering. I get nervous. Um, so thank you for sticking with me this far, and until I see you again in the next reading. Okay, thanks. Bye.